Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com here, back today with another daily crypto update. As per usual, I'm going to be going over Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Monero, Omigo and Lisk, all of those in that order. Any more detailed technical analysis in just a second. I'm also going to be covering ARK today. It's seeing a little bit of a bounce, so I wanted to cover it. And other than that, let's get right into our general, update for the general market and the altcoins. And what we can see today is Bitcoin having a bit of a pullback, down around 4% in the past 24 hours. This is something that I've been calling now for a couple days. If you watch my previous daily crypto update, I really, mentioned the point that Bitcoin had to see some kind of drop before the fork because it was just overextended, and that's what we're seeing today. So I was definitely right on that. And we'll see how big of a pullback it'll be. I'll try to map that out during the technical analysis. But this is completely expected. And I get a lot of questions right now asking me, what's going on with the altcoins and Bitcoin, upcoming fork and everything. Any kind of price action that we're seeing right now, I think, is mostly just short-term traders, day traders that are making the price bounce around, because I think the big bets and, the big players are now fully positioned for the Bitcoin fork, right? So this any kind of movement from here on out until the fork is going to be mostly just short-term traders. Now, for the altcoins, I do think that there's maybe some people who are, accumulating positions that are expecting to, get, benefit from the altcoin bounce after the hard fork. So that's why we're seeing some of the altcoins really going up nicely today. And I'll get into some of the outliers here. So Monero is one that I'll really be covering today because this broke out of its range, I'm pretty sure, or at least it's at the higher end of its range right now. So this one definitely kind of had a big breakout today, very important move, and I'll definitely go over that. Ethereum Classic, more money pouring into it. If we take a look really quickly at the chart here, I've been keeping you guys updated on what's been going on with this one, and a lot of money coming into it, like I said, right? Really kind of just breaking out here. So we'll see if this is a true reversal in the making. If you want to get more information on what I think of Ethereum Classic, because I do think it's an interesting opportunity right now, you should go check out my price prediction and analysis for it in my cryptocurrency price predictions playlist. This is a compilation of all my price prediction videos that I've made, and I've done one on Ethereum Classic, so you can go and check it out in this playlist. And if you're interested, definitely go check that out. Let's see, moving on to some of the other altcoins really quickly. ARK, like I said, having a pretty good day here. And other than that, no true... Factom has been moving up pretty nicely as well. Definitely should point that out. But other than that, I would say Monero and ARK, Ethereum Classic, those are some of the names to pay attention to, I would say, today, right? So let's get right into the technical analysis on ARK here. So as you can see, I drew this downtrend line and we're kind of peaking above it, right? We're not fully out of this downtrend because, I was kind of lenient on how I drew this downtrend line. If I wanted to be a bit more strict, I could take it from the top of the candlesticks, in which case we would still be downtrending. So we do really want to see it, break today's high, really nicely. So above $2.76 to confirm that this is really a reversal that's in play here. And we might not see that, of course, with the upcoming fork just yet, but it's still looking pretty good. And what I do want to point out for ARK is the fact that it bounced really nicely off this candlestick that was over here, right? The high of this candlestick, which corresponded to the low of this candlestick where it bounced. So $2.63. That was sort of a bottom that it put in, as you can see. And after that, we started moving back upwards, right? So I'm liking the price action here, and actually I can draw a little bit of a short-term uptrend. So a little bit of a triangle forming here. We'll see if this can hold, but this is going to be something to pay attention to, see how it acts in the next couple days. And I expect it to kind of just move over. Probably see a breakout here. Like I said, the upcoming fork may kind of thwart that a little bit, but I think ARK will be moving up higher now, probably near $3.30, slowly but surely. In the next coming days. Now MACD coming over here and crossing over, so that's another bullish sign. Histogram almost going positive as well. Overall, looking pretty good for ARK. Now, like I said, do want to see it really break above its high today and just start moving back up towards $3.30, like I said. Now, I don't want to see this be some kind of failed breakout like over here, right? That wouldn't be a good sign, and if it keeps downtrending, it might get pretty ugly. But for now, it seems like a reversal is in the cards. So let's take a look now and get back onto our normal schedule, starting off with Bitcoin. Now, let's see. As you can see, this is what I was talking about in my previous daily crypto updates. It was trending for several days above the upper Bollinger Band, right? And like I said, that's a very unsustainable pattern. So yesterday, it started failing and getting a bit of a sell-off, was barely able to hold, and then finally today, it really cracked. We broke out of our uptrend over here, and we're taking a bit of a hit. Now the question is going to be, can we hold the 7,000 level until the fork, right? Let's see, it put in a low today of 6,900, so it did dip below that. We'll see if it can hold above 7,000, like I said. Now, things are turning over. We can see the RSI flipping back over. Didn't touch the 70 line. We'll see if we get a bounce off that. That would probably be good if we did right now, but other than that, the MACD is starting to turn over, so it really depends. Like I said, the problem is I don't see it moving that drastically up until the hard fork, just because people, the big players set their positions in now, and this is mainly going to be, traders kicked up the price up till here, which, I guess you could say it wasn't really supposed to go here. This was just short-term traders that ran up the price. So this is the same thing, right? Just traders now selling it off. And it depends. I really doubt we'll get some kind of massive drop. I think at the most maybe 6,500. But I do expect it to bounce and move back near 7,000 up when the fork comes around. So that's kind of where I see Bitcoin going. But I was definitely right on my prediction for the pullback today. Moving over to Ethereum now. Let's see what's been going on with that one. So a little bit of a bounce today. What's nice to see is it's actually, let's see, it is actually above the brown line, this brown middle band right here, which is currently sitting at $299. So a little bit above that. That's actually a good sign, because it's been actually a really drastic resistance level for Ethereum. Now it is getting pretty consolidated here, but it's a good sign to see it break above this. It hadn't really done that before, except here where it tested it, but that failed. So that's definitely a good sign. As far as the indicators go, the RSI isn't looking too bad. We're moving upwards on it, still in the symmetrical triangle pattern. RSI pretty similar as well, kind of flat here. Just going to be a matter of time here for Ethereum to consolidate, I think, a bit more, and we'll see. It'll probably break to the upside, of course, after the Bitcoin hard fork is what I'm thinking. So a little bit more consolidation and then a breakout to the upside, and this area around here will have a little bit less resistance to deal with. So that's kind of where I see it heading in the after the Bitcoin hard fork, I guess. But I think more consolidation until the hard fork. Now let's see. Let's move over to Litecoin. Of course, do be aware that we could see another drop in the altcoin market before the hard fork. That's fully possible as well. It really depends on what Bitcoin is going to do right now in the next coming days. But Litecoin holding up pretty well also. So here what we have is it's testing. Well, it tested this brown line, the middle band, at $56 and around 20 cents. Wasn't really able to hold that. Got hit back down, and obviously it's facing a lot of resistance from this downtrend line over here. So that's what I've been saying with Litecoin, is it has a lot of resistance in this area. It might have to move a bit lower and then break above the downtrend line, where over here it'll have a little bit less resistance to deal with, more space to move upwards. As far as the indicators go, not really telling us all that much. It seems like the MACD is slightly coming back over, but still very flat. And right now, we'll just have to see what it does with this candlestick, but wouldn't be surprised to see it drop a bit more. Or like I said, it could just break through kind of in a very flat way through this candlestick, through this downtrend line, and then kind of just consolidate up until the fork. So that's what I see happening for Litecoin. We're still going to have to wait and see to really get a clear idea on what it's going to do here in the next couple of days. But moving over to Ripple now. Ripple, a pretty nice update for Ripple, up around 3% here. Back above the middle band, right, the brown line, currently at 20 cents. So that's actually a really good sign to see. We'll see if that can serve as support now that it's above that. And if it's able to hold the middle band, that's going to be a pretty bullish sign, because it'll mean that it'll have, you know, this uptrend line that's going to be supporting it. Of course, this horizontal black line, this is the more serious support level that it should hold. But it'll have, you know, now numerous support levels that'll be holding it up and hopefully moving it upward. So that's something to realize. Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of resistance in this 21-cent area. This is the, you know, upper range of its consolidation that it had here. So that's obviously going to be pretty hard to break through. We'll see if that can happen. Probably not before the hard fork, though. So up until then, I think it'll just kind of move upwards like this, kind of trend along the uptrend line and between this black line up here. After that, I think we could definitely see a break into this area over here. Good signs on the MACD here. That I've been waiting for this for a while, and it finally happened. So we have this very overextended hook of the MACD that's now crossed over. So this is a very bullish signal that I use a lot in my personal trading, and RSI now coming back into the uptrend area. So Ripple starting to repair some of the technical damage that it had in the previous sessions. Definitely a good sign here for Ripple. Let's move over to NEO now. Hopefully some good action here. NEO not acting that good, just consolidating a bit more. The indicators are very flat right now, so not giving us much information. Now, we did bounce off the, you know, downtrend line and this horizontal support level. So it is getting pretty range bound as well here. Kind of expect it to, you know, at this point we're either going to see it break through this uptrend line and just stay even more range bound, or maybe we could see it trend above it and move a little bit higher up until the fork. So yeah, it is definitely struggling a bit here, definitely getting hit pretty hard. What's good to see, though, is we're now kind of out of this downtrend line over here, right, which is this line right over here. And that one was, you know, a bit troublesome. We're finally out of that. It's even serving as a bit of support, as you can see in the past couple of days. So that's one thing that's out of the way, but still a little more resistance ahead for NEO. So we'll see if it'll, you know, manage to get enough strength to really, you know, break through that. Probably not until the hard fork, though, of Bitcoin. Next up, Vertcoin. Now, Vertcoin a little bit of a bounce today, up slightly. RSI is not really giving us much information. They're still not looking great. You know, MACD still downtrending, histogram still downtrending, RSI not looking great as well. Now, as far as the price action and the candlesticks go, we, you know, in the middle of the range here of our Bollinger Bands, and that really kind of further indicates that I think we're just going to see consolidation here, which is what I've been calling for the past couple days, and I think it'll just be bouncing between, you know, $3.30, this red support line over here, and this $4.85 resistance level, this pink line up here. So it'll probably trade near the lower range of this up until the fork, and then maybe it move a little bit to the higher side of that. But I think for the next couple of weeks, Vertcoin might have a little bit of, you know, consolidation ahead. Now, one thing that I will say for Vertcoin is if it does react positively after the Bitcoin hard fork, we could see it, you know, get a nice bounce and maybe move into this range, in which case I still do think it'll probably consolidate for a bit because it has gone up pretty significantly, and, you know, people probably still want to build positions, bigger players, stuff like that. Wouldn't be surprised to really get some consolidation for Vertcoin. Moving over to Monero, which is really one that I want to focus on today. Very interesting move. So really took off here today. I'm not sure if there was any news. Let everybody know if there was any news for Monero. I'm pretty sure, though, that it was just based off technicals. Now, what do we see here? Well, let me go ahead and draw you a resistance level that we broke out of on the RSI, which is good to see, right around 57 cents. Broke above that. So we're now moving into the higher ranges of the RSI. No, might start going test 70. MACD peaking back up, right? It's been very flat. Pretty good sign as well. But as of right now, not telling us all that much. Now, as far as the price action go in the candlestick, this is really where everything comes into play. Now, we did peak above today, this actual black line, the upper line, which is really the big resistance area, because we've been range bound for so long that we really want to try to break out of. So that's at, let's see, the high of this candlestick. 105.56 was the high that we put in. Wasn't able to hold that, as you can see, pretty long upper wick. So probably, as of right now, just not ready yet to break through that. But we could see in the next couple of days if it really has enough strength, or after the hard fork. But what this tells me is definitely a good chance that Monero breaks above this and, you know, starts moving back to its all-time highs after the Bitcoin hard fork. So still might not have enough strength as of right now, but definitely after the hard fork could have enough. Now, this candlestick, you know, it's a very big engulfing candlestick, which is bullish. It broke out of the smaller ranges over here near 93, so that's a good sign as well. And I'll go ahead and put that support level in just to, you know, give credit where credit's due. So we'll see if it can hold above this line about right over there. So in my trend, in this very tight area over here, or, you know, it could really do anything, could pull back down a bit. It depends, but it's a good sign, and we haven't seen something like this in a couple days now. So definitely something to pay attention to, but the true move will be when it breaks above this fully and holds above this $103 area, at which point it'll probably move up until this $120 area very quickly. And, you know, after that, probably slowly but steadily moves up to its all-time high back again. And I do expect that to happen after the Bitcoin hard fork, though. So Monero giving some hints of maybe a move upwards, basically. Moving over to, oops, sorry about that. Moving over to Omigo now. Let's see. Omigo up around 3% today. Now, still not looking that good. It's consolidating a bit, forming a little bit of a support level here at $5.83, which is good to see. But unfortunately, as you can see, it's really struggling with this middle band, and I mean that's expected, but it definitely doesn't have enough strength to really make any kind of bigger move as of right now. MACD completely flat. One of the better signs here is that we broke above the, sorry, my RSI line is kind of messy here, but we broke above this this downtrend line over here on the RSI, which puts us in this little triangle formation right out here. So that's something to pay attention to. You know, that's a bullish sign, but until it really, you know, gets some more strength, maybe breaks above this. As you can see, there's just too much downtrending action here, to be frank with you. Especially as far as the Bollinger Bands go, I think that's just going to be too much downward pressure to get some kind of move just yet. So probably going to retest this black line here. Moving over to our final cryptocurrency of this daily crypto update, that's going to be Lisk. Now let's see what's been going on with that one. It's been struggling a little bit recently. And okay, so up around 4% today. What's good to see is it looks like it's trying to move back into this outer triangle over here. That would definitely be a good sign and would get some resistance out of the way, because, you know, it's been struggling with this sort of downtrend and uptrend line over here. So that would clear that out, and definitely something that I think we could see in the next coming days. So, you know, RSI looks like it wants to bounce a little bit higher. MACD is still a little bit too flat right now, and it will be facing some downward pressure from these Bollinger Bands, as you can see, but it is now flattening out a bit as well. So what do I expect here to happen for Lisk in the next coming days? I think it'll break through this this downtrend line fully and kind of just trade around this $4.60 level, and probably consolidate a bit more there, in my opinion. So we'll have to pay attention to this one. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of resistance ahead, but yeah, that's going to be the struggle for Lisk, is kind of breaking out of this whole mess over here. Now, it might consolidate for a while, at which point, you know, it would have more room to move up. That would probably be the better case scenario and more healthy price action. Yeah, definitely be healthier of a move for Lisk. Other than that, this concludes my daily crypto update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please sure to leave a like and subscribe. I thank you for watching, and have a nice day.